Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and I want to show you a little trick that I do that not only saves me money in the long run, it saves me a lot of time on the water. Check it out. So this little trick is something that you guys have, or a lot of you guys have asked me about. I mentioned it in a video not too long ago, and so I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I do. First of all, this is not a cheap thing to do up front. There's a little bit of investment in the beginning, but over time it saves you a lot of money, especially if you're like me and you like to use some of the the best quality fishing line out there. So this is what I do. Let me show you real quick. All right, so here it is. I've got it in a Bass Mafia box that I've padded, and I'll talk about this in a second. But what it is, it's just a bunch of spools that I bought from the trick shop. They run about 30 bucks a piece or something. I can't quite remember, but what I do is braid is expensive, especially the stuff I use. I love Seaguar flipping braid, and I love the Seaguar Smackdown, and I love the Seaguar fluorocarbon, and it gets kind of expensive, especially if you're pulling it off and putting new line on, or say for instance I want on my jig rod I want 20-pound fluorocarbon and not flipping braid, or not braid, so I want to switch it up, and I pull the braid off, and I just wasted a whole bunch of really good braid to put 20-pound fluorocarbon in. So I've gone for 30 bucks instead of buying a second reel or spending money on more line or whatever. I just buy the spools and I put them in this box, and it helps me to organize them. Another way that it's really cost effective is with my cranking setup. My cranking reels, I only have 2 of them, and I usually only need 2 of them. But say for instance I want to adjust the depth of a bait that's running 10 feet, and I want to make it run a little bit deeper, and I have 12-pound test line. Well, I'm going to put 10-pound on to make it run deeper. So instead of pulling that 12 off and putting 10 on, I just reach in here and I pull my 10-pound test line out, and I drop it in the reel, and I keep fishing. It's just amazing how much time and how much money over time that this saves me. Now the box, what I did is I took and went to Hobby Lobby and picked up some craft foam, some really thick craft foam, and used basically spray adhesive and glued it in here to where when the box closes, everything seals up good and the spools don't get beat up when they're in the box. And that's the biggest reason why I did it, is just to protect the spools. I want them, I want them to not be dented, not to be banged up, because they're kind of fragile when they're not in the reel. So I just kind of did that, and it works great. It's worked really great for me. Now the spools are only interchangeable for the 13 Fishing Inception reels. And if you want to do this with other brands, you basically call and you order the parts. You can do that too. What's really nice about Inception reels is everything is interchangeable. If I have a Concept A and a Concept C, I can just switch the spools out between the two. Like I said, this is kind of an investment to start off with, depending on how many reels you have. If you have 2 reels, buy 3 or 4 spools, replaceable spools of those Concept reels, and you can have 3 or 4 different lines all ready to go. And over time your line lasts longer. You're not throwing good braid and good fluorocarbon out. You really are saving a lot of money. Well, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish. Have a great day.